Sha'ar HaGilgulim. Yes, give me 1 second. Sha'ar HaGilgulim, Shiur number 11. We are in the middle of Hakdama Bet, the second chapter.
Shiur number
11, yes. And we were finished talking last week, just to give you guys a review, a small review, a recap, correct? Before I'm going to start, our shiur should be L'Refuat Shlemat Tinok Ben Daniel. Hashem give him a speedy Refuat Shlema, and also Lehatzlachat, all the Ravakim, especially Rabbi Habib Ben Vedeah, Rabbi Miriam. כל הרווקים השם ישלח להם בת זוגם השנה ויקימו בית נאמן בישראל וכל האנשים שצריכים פרנסה טובה השם ישלח להם פרנסה טובה ושפע רב אמן. So what? ולעבדו ולרב שלם. So what were we talking about last week? Last week we have a guy, his name is Reuven. Okay? Reuven. So Reuven was born with a nefesh. Right? He was born with nefesh. Okay. He got his nefesh. He fixed it. He fixed his nefesh. He got it till the keter. Right? We learned in Hakdama Aleph, right? To fix the nefesh, where do you have to reach until? The keter. You have to get to the malchut of the. It depends. If you're from the malchut, you have to reach malchut of keter, of the nefesh. If you're the yesod, you have to reach the yesod of the keter, of your nefesh. Understand? So that's why nefesh is the hardest. He finished his nefesh, he fixed it. Now he cannot get his ruach. He cannot get his ruach. Why? Because once you're a megulgal, once you're a reincarnated person, you can't get all parts of your soul in one reincarnation. You need to die. Not you, chas v'shalom, but, well, it doesn't make a difference. A person has to pass away before getting his ruach. Okay? Now, today we're going to learn. So Reuven passes away, the nefesh is fixed. It's fixed. If the nefesh is fixed, what's going to happen to it? It's going to stay in Gan Eden Elyon. It's going to stay in Gan Eden. Now what's supposed to come down right now? The ruach. But the ruach is going to come down in a new person. It's a new body. Let's call him Shimon. Okay? Now the ruach is a problem. The soul needs a medium to connect it to the body. Now, what's really supposed to serve as the medium, the connector, Gabriel? What's supposed to serve as the connection between the ruach and the guf? The nefesh. But where is the nefesh, Baruch Hai? It's in Gan Eden. He finished his job. So today we're going to learn what's going to happen when the nefesh is fixed, and then the ruach has to come back as a reincarnation. But he can't come. Why? He's alone. So God gives this person, we're going to learn today, something called Nefesh Hager. Nefesh Hager. This Nefesh Hager serves as a basis. How do you say a basis? Yeah, a cup, or there's a better word for it, huh? A kli, a vessel, or how do you say a foundation? A foundation, a chariot to which the Ruach could rest on, and then it could go inside the body, which we're going to call Shimon.
So what happened to the ger?
So this nefesh hager, we're going to learn what is a nefesh hager, Rabotai. What's a nefesh hager, Gabriel? How are gerim created? Gerim are created to do this, to serve as a medium between a ruach that's not fixed yet and the body, which is Shimon. And what happens is now a ruach is in a very high level. Why? Where do nefesh hagers come from? They come from a zivug of malchut, a very low zivug. Our regular nefesh comes from high zivugim, of the da'at, of the yesod. Okay, our nefashot, our neshamot Am Yisrael come from a very high level, right? Could you guys tell me of a gera, a convert that was a big tzaddiket? Ruth. Before that, huh? She was actually a very big rishai for 50 years. She was doing znut to the point where the Gemara says in Masechet Megillah, if you would say her name even, if you would just think of her, and that night you would already get a visit by she who must not be named. Okay, Rachav Azona. You understand? And that's when she told Kalev and Pinchas, are you gonna save my life? And what did they tell her? If you're gonna tie that rope on your window, right? If you're gonna tie that rope, we will know that you're still want to be a kosher Jew, and we will convert you. But the Ari Kadosh explains that what was going on in their conversation was secrets of secrets. Secrets of secrets. And what happened over there? At the end, who did she get married to? Yehoshua bin Nun. And Yehoshua was supposed to have baby boys with her. He was supposed to have sons with her. She was basically, but he caused the Jewish people not to have Pirya V'Rivya for one night. So Hashem said, Midah keneged midah, you're never going to be Mekayem mitzvat Pirya V'Rivya. That's why the Gemara says, it's a halacha l'maaseh. We're going to learn today, last 10 minutes, halachot nidah. It's asur for anyone to know when a person's wife is going to the mikveh. Why is it asur? One of the main reasons why it's asur is because then the people are going to be too embarrassed to be mekayem mitzvat Pirya V'Rivya that night. And if they're too embarrassed to mekayem Pirya V'Rivya, what's going to happen? Chas v'shalom midah keneged midah. Something could happen to the other person's children, or to the children he's supposed to have. Okay, so this nefesh hager, Rabbi Gavriel, we're not going to get into the depth what it is nefesh hager, but what we're going to say is Tzadikim create them. Where do they come from? When chatzot layla, while you're sitting in the floor doing tikkun chatzot, crying for the Chorban Beit HaMikdash, at that moment Tzadikim are finding their wives in Gan Eden HaElyon. And through a very spiritual zivug, they create souls of gerim. Now, there are certain tzaddikim who could do it while they're alive. Like who? Ben Azai said, when Ben Azai was walking in a shuk, he was creating neshamot of gerim. Abaye also, when he was walking outside, he was creating souls of gerim. Who is the greatest one? The Torah says itself, he created gerim. Who? Avraham Avinu. That's why everyone who comes, who's a ger, what do they call themselves? Ben Avraham. What we should call him Ben Yaakov. Why? Avraham is it's a vague name. Why? Out of him came also Yishmael. What are you going to say? You're Yishmael? But there's a reason why we say Ben Avraham, because Avraham Avinu was the first one who was creating Nishamot Gerim. How do you do that? When a tzaddik, for example, cannot have kids, when he can't have kids, and he's with his wife, like Avraham Avinu and big tzaddikim, like maybe the Lubavitcher Rebbe Zatzal, or Mordechai Sharabi Zatzal. So when he's with his wife, he knows he cannot have kids. So what is he doing instead? He's creating nishamot for Geri. Now before these nishamot could come down to this world, Rabbi Isai, first they have to come in a body of a Jew. They have to come in the body of a Jew as a cleansing process. Like for example by Shimon, where this nefesh hager comes as a basis, as a foundation for the ruach to rest upon, and Bezrat Hashem, Shimon will fix his ruach, automatically the nefesh hager will be fixed, and then it could go into a ger. But what happens, unfortunately, many times this nefesh hager is very unfixed, and it causes the ruach to go off the derech.
But you say you can't touch the other one.
The ruach is a very big tzaddik. Whoever has a ruach is a big tzaddik. Now, what happened was, the Gemara says a story that the Gemara says there was a rabbi called Rabban Yochanan ben Zakkai. He had 5 students. 5 students. Who are they? Rabbi Eliezer HaGadol, Rabbi Yeshua ben Hananiah, Rabbi Elazar ben Arach, Rabbi Yossi HaKohen, and Rabbi Shimon ben Netanel. 5 huge Tanaim. Huge. This is the generation before Rabbi Akiva. And one of them, Rabban Yochanan ben Zakkai, said, he's such a big rabbi, if you put him on a scale, he'll outweigh everyone. Who's that? The Rabbi Eliezer HaGadol. Abba Shaul heard a different version. He said, even if Rabbi Eliezer HaGadol is with everyone, Rabbi Elazar ben Arach will outweigh everyone. He's such a big rabbi. And the Gemara does say that Rabbi Elazar ben Arach was once walking with Rabban Yochanan ben Zakkai, and he says to his Rebbe, I'm going to tell you something in Maaseh Merkava. He sits down, he starts talking Maaseh Merkava, so the Shamayim, rainbows are coming out, fire is coming on top of their heads. The Gemara, Masechet Chagiga. Whole huge thing is going on over there. Because the Gemara was huge, but the Gemara says something very weird happened to him. his wife convinced him to move to a city by the coast where there's nice water, nice ginot. How do you say ginot?
Wait.
Ginot, gardens, nice gardens. And when he came back to visit his friends, they told him to read the Torah. The pasuk said, "Hachodesh hazeh lachem." How did he forgot how to read? He said, "Hachiresh haya libam." So the Ari HaKadosh said, man, he was great Mizeh Gadol. The Ari HaKadosh says, you know why he was like that? He wasn't born with a nefesh. He was born straight with a ruach. But those people, they have a big plus, but they also have a very big minus. They have to deal with what? Nefesh Hager. And this Nefesh Hager caused them to lose his Talmud.
But so if someone is born with a nefesh, in order...
Crazy, huh?
How do you forget to read being such a great person?
While he was in the Gemara says, Kashim Gerim li Israel kesapachat, right? Gerim are hard to Am Yisrael, like sapachat is. It's a skin ailment. It's one of the tzarat. Gerim is bad for the Jews. So the Tosfot, it gives a couple of reasons. The Gemara Maseh Kiddushin. The Tosfot gives a couple of reasons why the Gerim are bad for the Jews. Why? So one of them says because the Gerim, they convert, but then you know what? They have a change of mind and they do bayot for us. Another one says, Rabbi Avraham, I think his name is Rabbi Avraham ben Ager, over there, if I'm not mistaken, in the Tosfot, one of Bali Tosfot, he says because the Gerim, when they convert, they love Hashem so much, they show Hashem how to really be Mekayim Mitzvah. They're more, how you say? Yeah, those are all the pshat reasons. How you say? Those are something you say between Mincha and Arvit. But what's the real reason? The Ari HaKadosh says because the Nefesh Hager, before it could go inside Hager, Chas Shalom, it can cause big tzaddikim to fall in sins. You understand? So that's the real reason why Gerim are very tough for the Jewish people. So, but when they actually go into a goy and he suddenly gets this awakening, I want to be Jewish, that person could be a very big tzaddik eventually. I remember seeing a video of some Japanese guy convert to Judaism. What you think is with the Chinese guy? Talking about the Japanese guy. Some Japanese guy converted to Judaism and he was like saying and he was very into Kabbalat Hagra. And he's saying all this kind of stuff. Now we don't learn Kabbalat Hagra. And he was like saying it back and forth. Like, how does this ger reach a level that most Jews don't even dream in their life? Dream. He must have had a Nefesh Hager that went through a very, very big cleansing process. And when he got it, he got this huge awakening. Okay, so today we're going to learn about it, Be'ezrat Hashem. Let me just erase the board so we don't get... actually, we could leave this. Okay, let's read. Gamda, page Lametet in our books. כי לפעמים כאשר תתגלגל הנפש לבדה לתקן עצמה, תשתלם כל כך במעשיה, עד שתזכה למדרגת הרוח שלה. Sometimes the nefesh, when it comes as, let's say, Reuven, he will do such a good job. How does he do a good job? We said this many times before. You want to fix your nefesh? You have to learn Tanakh and do mitzvot ma'asiyot. What do you mean learn Tanakh? חייב אדם להשלים פרשיותיו עם הציבור אפילו עטרות ודיבון. 2 מקרא ואחד תרגום. That's the number one way of learning מקרא. And if you want to take it a step further, חוק לישראל. It's in the חוק לישראל. So a person learns Tanakh and does mitzvot ma'asiyot, yeah.
Where are you exactly?
I'm in page Lamed Hakdama Bet. Hakdama Bet.
Where are you?
Smack in the middle.
We did Lamed Zay.
I think we did it. Yesterday, last week. No? You have us stopped over there.
We did that piece.
You sure?
Yeah, I have my pencil.
Okay. So we're gonna start a paragraph. You sure? Okay. We're gonna start a paragraph before. Okay. והנה, לפעמים יהיה שהנפש בעת תיקון שלה, when the nefesh, let's say Reuven over here, during his תיקון, נשלמה ונזדחכה בתכלית גדול. He did such a good job, so basically we read almost the same exact thing until now. He did a very good job. אז איננה צריכה לחזור להתגלגל עם הרוח בעת תיקון הרוח. So he doesn't have to come back with the ruach when it comes into Shimon. אבל הנפש נשארת למעלה הראויה בצרור החיים. The nefesh stays up where? In צרור החיים. What's צרור החיים? Gan Eden. That's what Abigail, one of the 5 most beautiful women that ever lived, she was a prophetess. That's what she told King David. When she saw him, King David wanted to have revenge. People think when a Talmid Chacham is a bit revengeful, he's a Rasha, Chas v'Shalom. It's not true. The Gemara says, the Shulchan Aruch Paskins in Yoreh De'ah, the Talmid Chacham has to have a little bit of revenge in him. Why? That's for his kavod, for the kavod HaTorah. So there was once a story in the Sefer Melachim, Sefer Shmuel Bit. If I'm not mistaken, actually I think it's Shmuel Aleph, that David HaMelech was running away from Shaul and he was in the desert and he was watching over the flock of a guy named Naval. In a couple of years, B'ezrat Hashem, we're going to get to Hagdama Lamed Vav, chapter 36, and we're going to learn over there that Naval was the Gilgul of Lavan and Bil'am. What's the connection? The Ari HaKador said that Hevel, the son of Adam HaRishon, he had in him good and bad. What was good inside of him? The letter Hey of Hevel was good. The 2 letters Bal, Bet and Lamed were bad inside of him. And that came back in Bil'am. You see, what's the connection? Bal. Right? What's Am from? Amalek. Right? So Bil'am was, how you say, very bad. And then he came back, Bil'am, as who? Naval. And 1 second, what do you have over here? Bal. Right? Bal. But before Hevel came in Bil'am, first he came as the arch enemy of all the Jewish people in the generations of generations, called Lavan. And 1 second, what do you see? Which 2 letters? Bal. Bal, and Bal. And all from who? Hevel. Okay? So this Naval, David HaMelech wanted to kill him. Why? I watched your flock in the desert. I did so many good stuff for you. Give me a couple of sheep, some shashlik, some baran. Let me eat, I'm hungry. What did Naval say? He said, who's this David? Who is he? Who should I listen to? Why should I listen to him? You know who I am? You know how rich I am? I can put him in my back pocket, this little gingy. I don't need this guy. David HaMelech got so upset. He took out his sword and he said, if by tomorrow I make a neder, there's not going to be a being in Naval's house that can be able to go to the to urinate on the wall. Basically, he's going to cut off all the men's. That's how much jal he had. David, he wasn't king yet. He wasn't king. He said, and he was walking down the mountain with the sword, and he was going to rip Naval, and he was his cousin, by the way. He was going to rip him to shreds. He says, I'm not going to leave him. Mishu mashtin bakir. And then Abigail was a prophet, Naval's wife. She saw what's going to happen. She took right away a couple of, vodka, some wine, a couple of shashlik from last night. She was coming down the mountain. David was coming up the mountain. And she did something I don't want to say. She caused David to lose his concentration. And she told him, why do you want to be like this, my husband? He's a kelev. He's a dog. He says, why you got to make yourself full of blood? She told him, your soul is going to be bitzror hachayim. Tzror hachayim. Your soul is going to be in Gan Eden. What's the words of the Ari over here? Tzror hachayim. Why did she tell him that? Why did she say you're going to be like a dog if you kill him? What did David HaMelech say in Tehillim? Hatzila mikelev nafshi. Save me from the dog of my soul. David HaMelech was afraid because of his sins, especially with Bathsheba, and especially with his other averot that he did before, because David HaMelech made a couple of mistakes. He was afraid his nefesh it's not going to go in Tzor HaChaim, it's not going to go to Gan Eden. Who's going to take his nefesh? Someone else. So Abigail was a prophetess. She told him, don't worry. Hashem is marich apayim with Chai. Your nefesh is gonna be where? B'tzorah Chaim. When he heard that, all of his jal went away. He took the wine and the shashlik, and he said till tomorrow. Avigail goes back home. Naval hears that he spent a couple of dollars for tzedakah. He dies the next day. It was on Yom Kippur. He was so cheap that he said when he heard, the Torah says, when he heard that she took some of his money to give some tzedakah, his soul fell. His neshama got paralyzed. He couldn't believe somebody took a couple of dollars from tzedakah from him. He dies on Yom Kippur. That was the beginning of the tikkun of the shorish of Lavan. When Naval died on Yom Kippur, and Avigail ended up marrying David. And they had a son called Daniel. Daniel was one of the 5 people who never sinned. He never sinned in his life. Tzaddik, Yesod Olam. So that's the secret behind the meaning of Tzorah Chaim. Tzorah Chaim. So what does the nefesh do up there in Gan Eden, Rabbi Isai? What does it do? If he learned only Mishnah and Chumash, Rav Chaim Vital says in Sefer HaChezionot, Hashem gives him wings, he flies and he eats from the trees of Gan Eden. Rav Chaim Vital once saw these tzaddikim that only learned pshat in their life. He saw them like they were beautiful swans and eating the apples from the Gan Eden. But if Sefer HaChezionot, but if you learn Torah Tasod, the Pnimiyut Torah, the true Pnimiyut Torah, then you get invited into the Academy of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So don't forget, guys, to send me a thank you note after 120 years. This is your VIP card into the Academy of the HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And if you're the guy who actually videotaped it, you're also going to be videotaping Hashem and sending it to all the WhatsApp groups from Shamayim. There are a lot of WhatsApp groups over there. No, only he could do it, by the way. It's his job. Don't mess with him. Okay? Now, so it stays in Tzorah Chaim. V'haruach levado yered v'gilgul l'taken atzmo. And the ruach by itself comes down to fix itself. Oy va'avoy. The ruach comes without his batzug, the nefesh. But the nefesh doesn't care about the ruach. Why? Why doesn't it care? He's in Gan Eden. He's enjoying over there. Who cares about the ruach? The nefesh is very selfish. Right? It's like a woman. Yeah, very selfish. I want to just stay in my Gan Eden. You go down. Ruach is zachar. Go down. You do whatever you gotta do. What happens? But the nefesh can't come down alone. The Shimon, his ruach can't come down alone. Slicha. He has to come inside a nefesh. He needs a bat zug. So what does God do? God gives him a new wife. He gives him a good new soulmate. Who is that? Hager. Nefesh Hager. Oy va'avoy. This nefesh Hager does to this tzaddik va'ayod. He makes him do shtuyot, makes him do averot. Unfortunately, even Rabbi Elazar ben Arach, he forgot how to read the Torah. Not Arach. Arach. He forgot, and until his friends had mercy on him, they prayed for him, and he remembered all of his. Could you imagine? Instead of saying "Hachodesh hazeh lachem," he read "Hacheresh haya libam." Oy va'avoy. This is a very big secret. Maybe a handful of people in the world know the secret of the nefesh hager. Only a handful of people know the secret. And they have to be buddies, the nefesh hager with the ruach, until Shimon fixes his ruach. Now, what happens, guys, if Shimon doesn't fix his ruach? Shimon dies, and now we have a new guy. Let's call him David. Now David gets the leftover of the ruach, and guess who's still coming back? Nefesh hager. The ruach can never get rid of nefesh hager. It's gonna stay with the ruach until the ruach gets fixed. Nothing you could do about it. They're stuck. They're buddies for life. Now all this is a reason why Hashem did all of this. Remember, the Gemara says, Masechet Yebamot, that Hashem sent us into Galut for one reason. To do what? To gather all the Gerim. Those Gerim are Nituzot Kedusha. Right? Like Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva was a son of what? Who? Gerim. Rabbi Yehuda. Which Rabbi Yehuda? Ben Gerim? Also was Ben Gerim. Huh? Shmaya v'Avtalion. Very good. Kol hakavod lecha. Also Shmaya v'Avtalion were Gerim. Now, but Shmaya v'Avtalion, they were children of Gerim, but don't forget their souls was who? Do you know who their souls were? Eliezer, Eved, Avraham. Did you know that? Shmaya and Avtalion were the nishamot of Eliezer. And then, who did Shmaya v'Avtalion come back as a Gilgul? You guys are getting a lot of treats today because it's Rosh Chodesh. Who did they come back as a Gilgul? Rabbi Baruch, Rabbi Moshe Cordovero, and Rabbi Eliyahu Dividash Bala Reshi Chochma. Shmaya and Avtalion. Could you believe it? When you're learning the Ramak Tomer, do you know how do you say Tomer Devorah, the book in English? You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
The palm.
It's the palm tree of Devorah, right? You know what I'm talking. You know that book, Tomer Devorah. Rav Chaim Mitzan says whoever learns that book once a month will never have Chas Shalom cancer. Promise.
You mean the whole book?
Yeah. It's a small book like this.
It is small.
I used to finish it once a day.
What?
I used to finish the whole thing in a day.
Yeah, but the one.
And it's small book this big.
The one that did Russian, there's a lot of commentaries.
Second chelek is 10 pages.
Mine is a little bit bigger.
The first chelek is 13 pages. The second chelek is 10 pages.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it. But you have to understand it. You gotta understand. That's the Ramak. And the Ramak we know was the Mekubal before the Ari HaKadosh came to Tzfat. Did you know that? Chachamim. And the Ari HaKadosh said, when the Ramak passed away, he had a pillar of fire on his bed from his casket. From his when they were burying him, and only one or two people in a generation have that. The Ramak. Okay. So what happens? This ומתגלגלים יחד שניהם עד שתיקן הרוח הזה, ואז ייפטר עולם ויחזר להתגלגל, ואז תתחבר עמו הנפש הראשונה שלו, ויתגלגלו יחד שניהם כדי לקבל גם את הנשמה שלהם. עד שתתוקן גם נשמה גרעינה. The Ari HaKadosh contradicts himself over here. What does he say? Okay, he says, can I stand up by the way? It's gonna mess up the thing.
Standing.
No standing? So now the Ari HaKadosh says something very interesting. See, Shimon, let's say Rabbi Isai, Shimon fixed his ruach. He fixed it. Fixed it. Now what did we say? If you're a megulgal, if you're a reincarnated person, you can't get all parts of your soul in one reincarnation. En malasot. You can't do that. So what happens? Shimon, now Levi. Ruach is fixed. Now what does Levi have to get? What comes after the ruach? Neshama. The Ari HaKadosh says once the ruach gets fixed, Shimon passes away, the ruach goes up, it finds the nefesh that's in Gan Eden, and then the nefesh and the ruach both come down into the new body called Levi. Now you have the nefesh and the ruach and the neshama all in one body as Levi. That's not fair. That's not fair. Why?
And the nefesh is
If
selfish, not the ruach.
If the nefesh is fixed, but why is the nefesh doesn't want to come down? Because he's afraid. Listen, I want to ask you a question.
See, the ruach suffered so much with the nefesh hager. He already
No,
understands.
this is not an
himself.
emotional world, Rabbi said. You have to be a little bit Ashkenazi. You know how you be a little bit Ashkenazi? No emotions. Just be like a stone face, like this. Cold. Okay, that's how it is in Olamot and Elyonim. And there's no emotions over there. It's not a Sephardic world over there. Hashem gave this to us down here. Up there, everything's straight. There's the Din, and then there is the Dayan. You want mercy? Hashem sends us down over here. Over there is no mercy. Over there is Olam ha-Sachar va'onesh.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Last week we were learning the fact that we cannot damage that. If we already fixed it, we cannot damage
Very good.
Okay.
So that's where I'm getting to. Go ahead. So what's the contradiction over here?
You just said that it left over there. Why
Yeah.
was it left?
Why did the nefesh leave? Because he didn't want to be with the ruach. Now, what's going to happen? Even if the ruach if the ruach is gonna sin, we said the sin will not go
On the ruach.
on the nefesh. That's fixed.
Alright.
That's what we said last week. The sin will not. It will only go on the ruach. However, once the ruach is gonna sin, even though the nefesh does not get that pegam, what's gonna happen to the nefesh though? What's gonna happen to the nefesh? Slowly, the ruach is gonna sin more and more and more and more and more. The nefesh is just gonna keep on suffering inside that person's body, because he's already fixed. It's like having a rabbi in the same jail cell with the biggest murderer. How's the nefesh feeling? He feels like it's Gehenna Gehenom. You understand? He rather not fight with the ruach, he rather stay up there. He doesn't want to come down. He's fixed. He has to get his sachar. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't want to be in the same body, stuck in the same body with the ruach. Because the ruach, he's a sinner. He didn't fight his Yetzer Hara. He didn't win any battles yet, okay? Now what happens over here? By Levi, he gets his nefesh, ruach, and neshama. Why is that not fair, guys? If the nefesh doesn't want to come down to be with the ruach, why does the nefesh and the ruach, which is both fixed already, why do they take a chance to come down and to be with the neshama?
Because last time you said it's
Two against one.
Oh, so what happens is, I want to ask you guys a question. What's in a higher level? A neshama that hasn't been fixed yet? Or a nefesh and ruach that's fixed? Incorrect.
The second higher level.
Doesn't matter. There's nothing to HaKadosh Baruch Hu greater than a kli that's full. A vessel that's full. There's nothing in Hashem's. You could be a garbage man, and your tikkun is to pray 3 times a day with the minyan next to a Rosh Yeshiva. That his tikkun is to teach 1,000 talmidim, and he only has 999. Who's on a higher level to Hashem? Who does more aliyat man? Who does more birurim? That garbage man who prays 3 times a day. Why? Since his tikkun is much smaller, he gets to reach 100% much faster. So sometimes it's not the best thing to be a big neshama. Yes, you have more abilities, but you also, if you don't reach your potential, more consequences. You understand, Rabotai? Now what happens over here?
Everybody have work to do.
Listen, Tzaddik. One person. Listen.
From 0 to 100, you have to reach to 100.
One person's job is to go to Shiur Gemara on Thursday night. One person's job is to go to Sha'ar HaGilgulim Shiur on Thursday night. Who do you think has the harder tikkun? Who do you think the Satan doesn't? What do you think the Satan is making the? Which person is he working hard to stop him to go to the Shiur? The Thursday night one that goes to the Shiur Gemara, or the one who goes to Sha'ar HaGilgulim? Sha'ar HaGilgulim. Because every word for this to the Satan is like Esh B'nei Oret. What do you think? Everyone has a job to do in this world. Just one person has to learn the daf of Gemara. One person has to learn the daf of Sha'ar HaGilgulim. You know Rabbi Yehuda Fitaye. Come inside my house, you're going to see his picture. Where I eat. Rabbi Yehuda Fitaye. When he was a young boy, he used to learn this. All the Etz Chaim. When he was in his late 20s, he said, you know what? Das Svidanya. For like 10 years, he didn't open the book. More than 10 years. Till he was 40 years old, he didn't open the book. Till one day from Shamayim, they said, hello! Ben Ishchai passed away. Rav Shimon Agassi is gone. You better open the book already, or else. You understand? Then he started opening the book for real. And what came out of that? The best pirush on the Etz Chaim that ever was made. The Bet Lechem Yehuda. The Minchat Yehuda. So everyone has a job, you're right. And who knows if Rabbi Yehuda Fitaye finished this tikkun? Maybe we're all leftovers from his neshamot over here. Yeah, I'm serious. You never know. Remember, the bigger your neshama is, it's harder to fix.
Only the one who has picture in the house.
Only the one who has the pictures. Let's all buy his pictures now for the house. Okay, Rabotai. So what's the answer over here? The answer is, says Rabbi Shimon Agassi, the Bnei Aaron. The Bnei Aaron says, and we have to end with this answer. We have to end with this. That the nefesh and the ruach that are coming down with the neshama, with Levi, they don't come down in a complete gilgul.
Who?
The nefesh, which let's call, who's the nefesh really? What's his name?
Reuben.
What's the Ruach's name? Shimon. They don't really have to come down with the neshama. Let's say the nefesh and the ruach are completely fixed. The neshama will come down with a new nefesh hager. So why do they come down in this tziyur of the Ari Kadosh? They have a small tikkun to fix. What is that small tikkun? They missed one mitzvah. So
how they fix
They didn't do shiluach haken. Okay? Now, what happens is, if they didn't do one mitzvah, they come down not in a complete gilgul. They come down in something we're gonna learn called gilgul hadome leibur. It's a gilgul, but it's really like an ibur. What is that? What's the difference? In this gilgul, no matter how many averot the neshama does, it's not gonna affect the nefesh and the ruach physically. But they don't want to be there. They just want to be there till the neshama does shiluach haken. They got their mitzvah and they want to go caboose. Understand? But they're stuck with him.
How they fix if they miss something?
So we're going to learn there is a difference between fixing by doing mitzvot aseh and fixing by not doing lo ta'ases. There's a difference. Not always is Hashem going to force you to come back in a complete gilgul if you mix for aseh. If you miss lo ta'ases, oy vavoy.
So what does learning?
Then Hashem says you're going back down there and you're going to live another 70 years and you're going to go back through all the parnasan, yeludan, chatunan, yeladim, and pirabiriviyah, and you have to go through the whole thing.
So what's the point of saying that the nefesh has to learn the whole Tanakh?
The nefesh has learned the whole Tanakh, but we learned, till he learns the whole Tanakh, he has to learn it how many different ways? He has to learn it b'machshava, dibu. He has to learn. There's learning with Pirush Rashi, and there's learning with Pirusha, the Dat Zekenim, and there's so many Pirushim.
So if he doesn't do the Tanakh, but he keeps always said lo ta'aseh, that means he
didn't finish his nefesh correctly. Now we're also going to learn: does Hashem send a person in a complete gilgul, just to finish learning what he missed? Hashem, we're going to learn later on. We have another couple of years to get those Hakdamot. We're going to learn that sometimes HaKadosh Baruch Hu, not sometimes, all the time, when he sends a neshama down, the neshama has three main missions. He has to complete his quota of mitzvot, okay? Number 2, now we're all gilgulim, so we have to fix what we missed out on, right? Now, since we're complete gilgulim, that means what? We missed out on a lot, okay? A lot. Now, now there's also a second mission, is that we have to fight our Yetzer Hara.
That's number one mission.
That's the number one mission. And number 3, there's a certain amount of Torah each soul is supposed to learn. Until you don't finish your quota, you're going to keep on coming back. Now, HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't fire anyone. That's the good thing over here. God doesn't fire anyone. He doesn't kick anyone out. Hashem always sends the person back because he's a very, very good boss. Okay? He always wants you to come back. That's the good news.
All bosses would know.
Yeah. But the thing is, Rabbi Isai, that it's very late and we have to end the shiur over here. So, Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen ve'amen.